Good morning, Libras. Welcome aboard the Libra Love Boat. I just love having you. Remember, you don't have to be a Libra to stop by the Old Swedes Bungalow. If you were drawn to this channel for some reason, this message could very well be for you. So you might want to give it a try. Cross watchers, if this isn't your story, try switching the energies. And of course, it's not going to be for everybody, Stories change every day, and my stories are for different groups of Libras. Couldn't possibly be for all the Libras in the whole world. That wouldn't even be rational, but take what you identify with and leave the rest. That said, let's see what that person in your energy is feeling, what's going on in your life right now. You've got an offer coming in. Okay, well, that's something going on in your life. Someone is plotting to get you back. All right. Sounds like that's the offer that's coming. You, Libra, have a very strong connection to the universe, so you're spiritual. Whoever I'm talking to today is a spiritual person who is dealing with a snake in the grass. Or you feel they are. Just not feeling it. Your intuition is telling you this situation is a little off. Yeah, you may have tried to release this person, but their energy just won't let go. You may have some kind of a bond with this person that is very hard to release. And the same is for them. They don't want to let go either. So what's the problem here, I wonder? We'll find out when we throw the tarot. This person might have been an immature energy, or, the timing might have been wrong when you met this person that's plotting to get you back. They needed some time to grow. They had to work through whatever they were dealing with at the time. You might have given this person some time, or you might have been kind of pushy with them. You would know, Libra. Maybe both. Maybe you gave them time and you pushed them. If you're not in contact with them, don't make contact yet. There's something this person needs to learn. Let them stew for a while. Yeah, right now you feel like this person's just showing no passion for you. They're not, opening their heart the way you need them to. You want them to reciprocate. But you're dealing, there's something funny about this. If you've got something going on with somebody, you want to feel the passion. You want to feel the reciprocation of the love that you're putting out. And you're feeling like something is really off about this. Like you're dealing with somebody who's not acting normal, maybe. The way you would want them. The way you see normal. Okay. Yeah, this person you're dealing with, they could have friends with benefits. And of course, that's going to make you feel like there's some sort of a snake in the grass, right? You may have discovered this. You may just be hearing it through your intuition, or you've known them long enough to examine their lifestyle. So this is what's going down with this person. You may feel like they want you to be, in that kind of a collection of people where they have options or whatever, and they want you to get on board. Ooh, no. That's not right. If that's what's happening here, you don't know. You got things going through your mind, but it's very highly likely that they have friends with benefits, okay? Yeah, this person came off when you met him as rather haughty, arrogant. Like they were in the driver's seat and they know what they were doing, but yet I believe they were also kind and they received you well, When you met, they received you well. You might have thought that this person was a little heavy for you, or a little bit too worldly or too experienced. And it gave off like this arrogance of they know, they've done everything, they've been everywhere, they've done it all, and they're so nonchalant about it and everything, and you're feeling a little off. You might felt like, they made you feel like you weren't quite worthy of them or something like that because of their arrogance. It might have not been just a huge display of ego and arrogance, but just the way they carried themselves, the way they expressed themselves. You didn't trust it. There came a time when you didn't trust this. You felt there was something behind this, that you didn't know about, that might be toxic or something. Your intuition's been talking to you, I can tell. I can tell that. You've really had your doubts about this person. Yeah, they had you stuck, didn't they? You're trying desperately not to get stuck in their game. It's becoming mental for you. It's a little painful. They're not showing the passion for you that you need. The reciprocation isn't there. It's affecting your mind. Yeah. You would have liked to have been with them, You might still like to be with them, but the trust is gone. And without trust, what do you have? Trust and honesty, if you don't have that, you got nothing. You live in a facade. You're living in an imaginary world with somebody if you can't trust them or they can't be honest with you. Yeah, and if they have friends with benefits, you might be able to, put that in the past as long as they put it behind them. So you have all kinds of doubts about this person. You're thinking all kinds of things about them, and some of them is true. They might approach you to, get together, set a date with you. Sometime when you guys can get together and go on a date. What they're going to do there, I don't know. We'll find out, though, won't we? Yeah. You were kind of right about this person's arrogance. There is something mysterious and not quite right about this person that you distrust. I don't even know if you want to go on a date with them. Looks like you will. If they ask you, the probability of going on a date looks like you will. They might want to put you on their friends list, which on their friends list includes friends with benefits. So you're going to have to watch out for that. Yeah. You need to get outside of your head. And just appreciate what you have. Not just materialistic things or whatever, but what you have inside you, what you have to offer to others. Appreciate yourself. Realize that you're a high value person. This person is treating you like you're lower than you really are. And that's despicable to me. I don't think that's very befitting of you at all, or decent of them. Appreciate yourself for what you have to offer. Try and not be stuck in this area feeling that you're less than. if that's where you're at, if that's how they made you feel because of their arrogance and thinking they know it all. Appreciate yourself. Realize that you're a special person. You have the ability to do what you want to do. Yeah, some of you feel like, this person, you feel like they meant to hurt you. You couldn't believe they were hurting you like this, and you couldn't believe why anybody would hurt somebody the way they hurt you. It was like they just went out of their way to hurt you. That's the way you felt about it. Let's see what this person did. What's going on with them? They're plotting to get you back. They're trying to arrange a date that they feel is appropriate, where they can work their charm or whatever they have to do. If they come in like a snake, you be the snake charmer. You control the situation. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate your own self-power. Okay. All right, they're feeling a little weak around you. This person is kind of an individual. They're different. That might be one of the things that attracted you in the first place. They kind of stick out in the crowd. There's something unique about them, that everyone notices. And they kind of, they like that. They like the idea that they're different. They look different, or they act different, or speak different, or whatever. It gives them a sense of uniqueness, But right now they're feeling a little powerless. They want to come in and they want to, offer you something to make you feel happy. They're plotting to get you back. They might even give you a gift. But this person might talk about adventures. They might, offer a trip or something like that. But they're not on your level, I don't think, Libra. They're showing up as a page. They're nervous. They don't know how you're going to receive them. That's why, they might give you a present or a gift. Or this gift might even be like not material. It could be a gift of, something that they know you like. They might affect you in a physical, emotional kind of a way to where, you don't, I can't say, but they want to offer you something that you're going to like. And they're trying to figure out what's the best way to come in and do it. They're watching you. They're keeping an eye on you, that's for sure. They might even be watching you in ways that you don't even realize. You don't even know they can watch you. Okay? Well, let's see what's in your energy, Libra. Oh, yeah. This person just moved way too slow. You might have talked about having a committed relationship. Plans for the future. Living together, having a good time, travel, just enjoying yourselves. Maybe not even having any kids, but you could have kids if you wanted or whatever. But just this free, wonderful lifestyle with a lot of passion. This person's passionate. They're in that youthful energy. That's what I'm saying. They might want to come in and love you up somehow if you're in for that. But you see this as something that could have been good, but it ain't happening now. You feel like you're losing this passion, this good time, because they came in too damn slow. They're still trying to come in, but they're the Knight of Pentacles. They're moving like molasses here. And you're all up in your head about it. You're in the Nine of Swords. You're like, man, this person is stressing me the hell out. I need to know something. I need to, if they're going to make this offer, make the damned offer. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest card in the deck, as far as I'm concerned. They just lollygag around. They don't care how long they keep you waiting. They're a solid person, but they're up in their head a lot. They're always thinking about, how meticulous they need to be. How they need to work everything out just right. Plan everything ahead. They don't want to make any mistakes, and they're going to lollygag around and come in real slow and be indecisive. They're basically a good person. They just can't get their ass in gear, okay? And it's bugging the hell out of you. Driving you nuts. Okay. Okay, here we go. What else about this person? What else? Other than they're slower than heck. Oh, yeah, they have player energy. They're a player. That's why they're a page, And they're plotting to get you back because they come in and out of your life. They take their pleasures where they find them. They don't care much about other people's feelings. It's all about them. And they're just taking their ever-loving time on coming back to you and getting with you. They could be dealing with other energies, They're here, they're there, you don't know what they're doing. They don't tell you the truth. They skirt around the truth and out lie, too. They just do whatever they need to do because it's all about them. Yeah, and their uniqueness, how cool they think they really are. Yep. So that's what you're dealing with there. Somebody who's arrogant, thinks they know it all. They're reckless with people's feelings. Okay. This person might have a little money, and they might think mostly about materialistic things. They might be looking at their money quite a bit. Not to say they aren't generous with their money, but they spend their money on, who they care about, who they think deserves it. They might want to come in and give you some news about some money, or about their finances or whatever. But I think it's going to be positive news, whatever it is. Maybe they're making more money, things are looking up, and they're going to tell you that, they're in a position now to where they can commit. Because they finally got their finances and their life together here, and, But I wouldn't trust them, and you don't. Because they've put you through some emotional pain. Looks like more than you bargained for here. Oh, brother, I could interpret this card in several different ways, but I believe they're going to tell you that they've quit dealing with their other options. Even though they're still focused on their other options. You're a blessing. They know it. But they're going to make you believe that they're happy, they're comfortable, and, they can get anybody they want. They're arrogant. They're going to make you believe that. They feel like that's part of their tactic, maybe causing you to become jealous. That's very immature, but this person is immature. Immature energy, I don't care how old they are. Running around like a school kid at 60 or something, hooking up, doing whatever. Yeah, this is very unbecoming of this person. Okay? So I think that you're not going to trust them when they come in. if they ever do come in, because they're so damn slow. They're going to tell you that you're the one. They realize that, you know, but I don't think they're just going to come out and tell you that they love you or anything like that, but they're going to make you feel like you're chosen. But they're still not letting their other options go. Maybe they'll tell you they are, just to make you jealous, like I said, but you'll find out. There might have been another party involved here too. Like somebody who was after your your Knight of Wands over here in reverse, was after them, and they started some ruckus. You know, this person's vindictive, spiteful, gossips a lot. This other energy, and they were partly responsible for influencing your person here to, you know, stay single, stay uncommittal, stay in the Knight of Wands energy. Oh yeah, because they didn't want to see you and this, and this Knight of Wands in reverse here get together. This could be possibly somebody that was messing around with your person here. One of their options. I don't feel that. I don't get that energy. I get the energy that this is someone in their environment. Someone they're close to that could be like a family member, a close friend, somebody like that was giving them advice that they wanted to give them. Like, you know, make Libra jealous. You know, ghost Libra. You know, that'll get them. But in reality, this person wanted you to break up. They wanted this situationship or relationship or whatever it was to not happen. You might know who this person is. You were very giving. You were giving to the relationship. You know, when you knew you should have held back, but for some reason, you know, it's in your nature. You just kept giving positive energy to this relationship. You know, Libra, tomorrow's going to be a brighter day. Yes, it is. You've been in the Nine of Swords, and that's painful, and that's sad, and sleepless nights, and worry, and everything. And you went into that, you know, that's included with the Four of Swords here. I mean, yeah, Four of Swords. But your Four of Swords is in reverse. And, but that's okay, because you're going to be coming out of this. And tomorrow, universe wants to let you know, tomorrow's going to be a brighter day for you. You're going to figure some stuff out. Things that you need to know. You might even figure out what this Queen of Wands in reverse, what their influence, their negative influence had on this relationship. We'll call it a relationship. Could be a situationship. Because Knight of Wands in reverse very seldom wants to get into a relationship. That means you have to commit. This person's non-committal so far, or they're leading you to believe they're non-committal because they have outside influence telling them to say that stuff. And they might be that way anyway, just, you know, by their nature, in their heart, if they're running around in this kind of energy. But they're planning to get you back. They see you as stable, somebody that they could connect with, and they're very interested in you. They're watching you, you know, wherever they can. Let's see, switch decks here. See what kind of confirmation I can get with another deck. These cards are so thin. When I pick them up, it's, you know, feels funny because they're thin. It feels like they're not all here, but they are. Okay. This King of Wands, in reverse, they feel like they've been tricked. Made a fool out of by this Queen of Wands in reverse. Yes. This person that's been interfering, is it one of their options? You know, it could be, I'm just getting it that it's not one of their options. It's somebody who has their nose in this person's business. And they feel like they've been tricked. They've been made a fool out of by this Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay? Maybe this Queen of Wands gossiped and exposed them too. You know, had a big mouth, because the Queen of Wands in reverse is vindictive, fiery, gossipy. So yeah, okay, yeah, this is heavy. Okay. They're dropping it. I think they're getting rid of this Queen of Wands, getting them out of their energy. They see you as stable. They realize that you're stable, and probably that they've made a mistake here. I don't see the mistake, but this Queen of Wands has really interfered, and they realize it, and they're dumping this Queen of Wands. I don't know what they're going to do, but they feel if they can get this Queen of Wands energy out of their life or away from them, you know, all that stress and everything that they've been up in will roll off their shoulders. And they can come home to you, because you feel like home to them. Okay? They're really comfortable in your energy. And you're over here like just weirded out. You've been waiting and waiting. You've been going through emotional torment. You've been possibly having to deal with gossip. Okay? Well, they still give you the impression that they're denying you. Oh, and there it is again. The same card, exact same card. 4 of Cups, one right on top of each other, on their side. Yeah, they're really playing it up. They're acting like, you know, they're plotting to get you back, but they're acting like they don't care about you. They know your value, but they're looking at their other cups. Now, they could be looking at their other cups with dissatisfaction, but I get the feeling that they're trying to, because they are the Knight of Wands in reverse, that they're trying to make you feel like you're not the chosen one when they really do choose you. They're playing games. They're playing games. They're trying to make you jealous. They would love to make you jealous, so that you'll chase them, I suppose. That'd be the logical reason. This Queen of Wands made your Knight of Pentacles, was moving towards you slowly, made them stop and turn around. To walk away from this connection. But because they are the Knight of Pentacles, they're moving away really slowly. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They're kind of lost here. They got to come in with this offer, and the offer is coming. But they've pulled back again. And they're going to have to turn back around and head in your direction again. This person, like I say, the the Knight of Wands, they come in and they come out. You never even hardly know when to expect them. Most of them live on their own schedule. They might tell you, hey, I'll talk to you on Saturday. You don't hear from them for 2 weeks. Then they come up with some smooth excuse or whatever. Anyway, Yeah, this Queen of Wands in reverse did have a negative effect on your person. Mm. Mm. Here comes that offer. Here comes the Sun card. Ace of Cups and the Sun card. Yeah, I told you tomorrow's going to be a brighter day, Libra. Tomorrow, you heard me say that. Tomorrow will be a brighter day. Right on top of that, I got the Sun card. Can't make it up, right? Brighter day. A new, fresh, beautiful beginning that's going to make you feel great. You're in despair right now, but it's coming. And I think it has to do with this offer because you got an Ace of Cups right next to it. So somebody's coming in with an offer. It may not be this person, even though they are plotting to get you back. This offer could be from someone else as well. I got the feeling it's from this person here, but and it's going to be genuine. Ooh, this is a little frightening. A little scary here. Are you going to be tricked? Are you going to let this Knight of Wands in reverse come in and you're going to accept this love offer? Wow, you're going to have a brighter day. I'll tell you that. Something's going to make you really happy. Let me draw a card here. Right on this Ace of Cups. You're going to be hesitant at first. Wow, yeah, looks like you're going to block this energy. No, 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 no. You can't block the Ace of Cups and the Sun card. Because the trust isn't there. Without trust, what do you have? Nothing. Trust and honesty, right? Well, you're really up in your head about all that. I think you realize that in order to find a brighter new day in the beginning, is you're going to have to make yourself believe that this is not your true partner. You're going to have to come into the realization that this is a Lovers in reverse. That's what you're feeling, that this isn't happening. It's too good to be true, is what you're thinking here. It might be. This is a tough reading today. Yeah, you believe this person has a third party going on. A full-on third party that they're really, they're doing it with, right? Whatever they're doing. They're partying with them. They're having a good old time. And you feel that that's what they're doing. When this Queen of Wands convinced this person that they shouldn't come towards you, they listened to him. And they went out and they got back into their ways of, being a player. So, yeah, they're out there playing around, or you think they are. You really believe this person's playing around and destroying your happiness. Destroying everything that you had envisioned in your mind. Wow, well, what would this person say to you if they could talk to you right now? Because I'm getting confused on this reading. I got to tell you, this person has conflicting energy. On one hand, they want you, but on the other hand, they want to play games and try and, con you and trick you. Why don't they just come forward and tell you what's going down? I don't think they want to admit that they're a player because, They don't want to admit that. They want you to chase them. What would they say to you if they could right now? I'm trying to be someone you can trust. Really? Okay. Well, they're admitting it there, that they've been distrustful. They're trying to do better. I struggle with revealing my true feelings and emotions. But I love you more than you think. Okay, this person does have feelings for you. That's why they're trying to come back in. They do have feelings for you. They're a player, but, you know, a lot of people play. It's a sign of the times. They can't take being away from you any longer. Okay. You do feel like home to them. But man, you don't trust this person as far as you can spit. You got an offer coming in. I feel it. If it's from this person, you're not going to think it's on the level. You'll think they're just out to destroy your happiness. They've never experienced a connection that was this intense before. So you really laid some heavy loving on them. Yeah, you were very giving, very open with this person. And you waited for them. You let them take their sweet, ever-loving time because you had faith in them. You thought that they were your savior, your knight in shining armor. It hurt really bad. You went into a 9 of Swords when you found out different or started thinking different. Yeah, whoever that they're involved with, you know, like I say, you suspect them to be full-on involved with at least one other person. They want out of that. They want out of that relationship. They say they love you today, tomorrow, and always. I was just a fool for not admitting it earlier. Because they never experienced this kind of intense connection. You poured it on. You were like the love bomber in this one. And they just like, wow, you know. You hit them hard with that love, that good Libra love. Yeah, they're deeply in love with you. Deeply in love with you. They really think they are, you know, love with you for the day. But no, these cards are telling me this person does have some deep feelings for you. Because you're unique in your own sense, that you blew this person's mind. They felt emotions that you'd have been locked away or they haven't felt for a long time. Maybe never. Yeah, they want your paths to cross again in the future. They sure do. They're plotting to get you back. They're just trying to figure it out. They're going about it the wrong way here, it looks like, though. Going about it the wrong way. Yeah, they're thinking maybe you're better off separated. Yeah, they're afraid to come in. They got some fear here. And they know what they've done, don't they? They know what yeah, because they're wise to this Queen of Wands in reverse. They want to get them out of their life. They might have already just, you know, had words with this person. That's the one that, you know, stuck their nose in and convinced this person to stay a player. Yeah, they're going to tell you that, they'd like to tell you that their life is a mess right now. And it is. They're messed up. They're in love with you. They're feeling feelings like they've never had before. But they realize that their friend or family or maybe even a lover, you know, one of their options or whatever, you know, convinced them that they needed to, you know, stay non-committal. Stay in their player energy. They would tell you, just do what's best for your heart. They do care for you enough that they don't want to see you hurt. Yeah, they don't want to really see you hurt. I don't think they ever really meant to hurt you. They just played games with you. And sometimes these, like I say, the Knight of Wands in reverse, they don't care or even give much thought to who they're hurting or or what they're doing, how badly they're affecting people. Yeah, their feelings are eating them alive. Yeah, you may not realize this about this person, but they're very sensitive, aren't they? They put on a good show, they put on a good front, and they do enjoy themselves, and they are non-committal, but this person wants to change. They know their life is a mess. They know they've been listening to outside influences that haven't been any good for them. Yep. That's exactly it. Take just a couple more of these, just for the fun of it. Yeah, they're really wondering about their independence now. That's something that they've just, they don't want to give that up, but yet it's not making them happy. They know their life is a mess. Whatever they've been doing, it's just not working for them anymore. So they're wondering if they could actually be happy in a committed relationship, if they could let their independence go. The universe wants you to spend more time with friends. I think you've been maybe hermitizing or just staying at home too much, not feeling in the right energy to be out and about, but go ahead and do that. Push yourself out. Push yourself outside. Get around in your neighborhood, find out what's happening out there. There could be more happening in your own neighborhood than you even know about. If you've been locked away for a while. If you want to meet somebody new, you got to get out and about too. This person made you happy. You saw them as your happiness. I still believe that when you think of them, you ruminate about them in your mind and whatever, you still see them in a happy place in your life. I don't see any anger, really much anger or whatever against this person. You don't trust them. You feel they're shady, but you know why, because they're a player. They've got a background. Maybe even a reputation. Somebody's trying to leave a karmic, and I believe that's this person right here. They're either leaving an option, or they are getting rid of this Queen of Wands in reverse in their life, who also, could be a karmic. Queen of Wands in reverse is definitely a karmic, I would always say. But, not everyone that comes into somebody's life as a third party or whatever is a karmic. They're just people. They're there, because they're attracted to the person or whatever. Doesn't mean they're evil, doesn't mean they're a karmic. They're just involved with that person. They could be going through the same thing you are, or a whole different story. Wow. A lot of you are getting into something new. Like a new idea, a new business, a new side thing, or whatever. And that's going to upgrade your life. Spirit's saying that's going to work for you. Whatever this upgrade is that you're involved in. Wow. You know what? A lot of you are going to have a new connection coming in, too. You're going to have an option. I've seen it a couple of times here. I haven't called it as that, but looks like it's getting a little more obvious here. You're going to have your own option. Someone that you could make a great team with. Again, I can't read it as a new person. This could be a totally new connection that you make with this player that really couldn't connect before. You might be connecting with them. They're plotting to get you back. They're going to make you an offer, so you might go for the offer. It's saying that, if everything worked out right and you could trust this person, you could be a great team together. Yeah, you got the Lovers card, but over here you're feeling like the Lovers is in reverse. That's a good partnership, though. You're just not seeing it, but it could happen. It could be. You may have, if you want this, you might have to wait a little longer, because like I said, this is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles energy. Whatever you do, express your true feelings and relate what you want, your needs, your ideas. You got to express to this person, this is how I have to have it. Damn it. I've been there, done that, in all these other directions, made all these mistakes before. I want what I'm after, and I want it. If you don't give it to me, if you don't bring that to me, this isn't going to happen. They need to start listening to you for a minute. Focus on what you need. You gave and gave. You've got a small support group, Libra. That's good. It's nice to have some friends that you can talk things out with. But you just don't think this person can change. You don't have high hopes for them. It's kind of sad. They have all these feelings for you, and they know they've messed up, and they know their life is a mess. They really want you to do what you feel is best for yourself, though. And that's commendable of them. Oh, okay. This person may not be able to cut ties exactly right away. Maybe that's why they're so slow. Because they have other obligations, other ties, that they could take a big loss if they just disconnected right now with somebody or something. They could take a loss. So they're not ready in that aspect. They have to fulfill whatever this is, this commitment, a contract, whatever it is. They just can't stop now and focus in your direction, because they got to focus on this. They got to cut ties. They got to finish whatever it is and be done with it. They'll take a big loss if they don't follow through. You might have a feeling or know what that's all about, Libra. You are slowly losing some passion for this relationship. Their energy is leaving yours. Slowly. It's taken some time, but you are starting to come back, to your old self. And it's been a slow process because, like I say, they kept you waiting for quite some time. Well, let's look at this again some more next time, like we always do. Keep the story rolling here. Stay in contact with what's going down. Like I say, this story isn't for everybody. If it isn't yours, I hope you just bypassed it. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Till next time, peace and love to you, Libras.